You've actually caught me in the middle of a read-through of the rules for the game that we're going to be unboxing today, which is Virtu. Actually, that's not true. The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli is not actually the rules for this particular game, but it may as well be. Virtu is all about building and maintaining power and becoming the ruler of Italy in the Middle Ages, which is what Machiavelli wrote on in his notorious book, The Prince. So, let's put this down for a second and actually get to the unboxing of Virtu.
All right, here's the Virtu, the Art of Governing game. And on the back, we have a really nice kind of illustration of what a board setup might look like with a full contents list here. And 14 plus, 30 minutes per player. We'll see if that's true. And 2 to 5 players. So, let's open this up. Maybe. And I actually really do. I mean, I know this, just the kind of cream taupe colors of this box with all, the grays makes it kind of look boring. And it does look kind of boring in a lot of ways. And yet, I don't see a lot of board games in 2022 that have this type of artistic style in terms of representing people. So it is kind of cool, even though the cover makes you want to fall asleep at the same time. So, all right, then we have this. Ooh, this is a thick rule book. And it looks like we have, we have 2 rule books. We have one for 2 players and one for 3 to 5 players. So it looks like you're going to be doing some reading. But right from the beginning here, we were hit with historical introduction and a little note from Niccolo Machiavelli. And there we're hit with a large illustrated itemized components list. Strong start we're off to here, I have to say. And the setup, lots of setup, large illustration of the board. This isn't so bad so far. Yeah. Alright, I prejudged this rulebook. Doesn't mean it's good, but at least it's laid out in a decent way. Goal of the game, lots of illustrations. Using resources to pay a cost, rules of the game, lots of really nice illustrations in here trying to show you what to do. You can hear my cat scampering across the house. All right. And Prestige and Victory, and that is on page 24. So it's not a short rule book, but again, a lot of illustrations. And really, the rules don't really start until page 6. So that is the 3 to 5 player version. And then here in the for 2 players rule book, more historical information. And they do hit you, interestingly, with the entire illustrated itemized components list again. I don't know if those are identical or slightly different. I assume they're identical. We've got the whole overview again. Board setup reminder. And then, so this rulebook is only 12 pages, which makes me think there's actually a lot less going on. There's got to be in the 2-player version of the game than the 3 to 5 player version of the game. I'm gonna guess based on kind of what makes 3 players, what makes a 3rd player, what a 3rd player brings to a game like this and what the game is based on. I'm going to guess that there's a lot of potential negotiation and deal making in the 2-player version that's been omitted that you can have in 3-player version, but that's pure speculation on my part. Here we have 5 player mats, which okay, this is interesting. Which are printed on both sides, but on 3 of the mats you just have these, just essentially blank illustrations, pattern illustrations. And then on the front side, you have this kind of rondel style player board here. And it looks like, okay, these are different. So here it says wage war, here it says scheme, but you also have scheme down here and wage war here. And so this is Florence and this is Venice. So it looks like, yeah, you have all of the same 5 kind of positions, but they're in a different order for Venice and Florence. And then you've got some places here off to the side for various cards as well. And then Rome has things, again, in its own order, right there. So those are 3-player boards, and then these 2-player boards here, on one side, on this side, I'll show you this side first, and this is Milan, and this is Naples. It looks like you have the 5 positions, again, in I don't know if there are any repeats, but don't need to be, in an order. And then on this side, you have the King of Naples and the King of France. And one of the things has been omitted here. So, which one is it? Scheme. Okay, so the scheming is almost certainly omitted from the 2-player game. So this has got to be the 2-player version of the boards. And so the whole scheming phase or whatever it is not in the 2-player version of the game. So we've kind of answered our question there just based on looking at the player boards. So now we are hit with 5 punch boards. So this first punch board, we have a whole bunch of different places on the Italian peninsula, it looks like. And unfortunately, I don't know, I'll try and pronounce some of these. Ancona, Bari, Mantua, Genoa. I know Genoa is right. Parma. I apologize if I'm butchering any of these to any degree. My Italian is non-existent. So yeah, these all punch out quite nicely. You can see we've got a whole bunch of iconography here. Yeah, it can also work. And then on here, right here, we have some punchable coins, which this game is actually really beautiful. I am almost certainly going to upgrade these with some metal coinage. This game just, I think, thus far deserves that. And actually, you've got some other ones here. So one of these has got to be like points or some other type of currency, and the other is money. I assume this is some sort of victory or prestige or scheming point. I don't know. And then these look like gold pieces here, or copper pieces of some type. And then we have, I'm going to show you, we have lots of iconography, but it doesn't look that bad. And again, we have this kind of blunted, muted other face to these things, so it makes me think that they expire or activate in some way and then get flipped over from one side to the other or something like that. And then, so then we have the 5, currency coins right here. And we have guilds and cathedrals and kingdoms. And again, these all get flipped over or expired in some way. Again, I'm assuming, but that's almost certainly what it is based on how they are printed. So there's the kingdom and cathedral. All right. So here we are hit with, again, more gold coins here. Let's punch this out. This is when a player succeeds at a siege on a city controlled by a major city, -4 influence on this major city. When a player eliminates the capital of a major city, -1 influence on other major cities, with lots of iconography. And again, this is kind of just got this pattern printing on the back here, but some player board or player board 8 or something like that. Again, we have more of these, kind of map city geographic tiles here for Pisa and Florence and Milan and Turin and Naples and all these other places. And again, got this muted version on the back. And in our final punch board, we have, again, more gold coinage. And we have some cannons here. Again, mute on the back, you're getting the idea now. And then we have this other board, which is labeled the Prestige board right at the top here. Lots of iconography. You'll see kind of symbols that we've already seen on other components. And this is double-sided. This is neutral. I wonder if one side of this is for 2 players and the other is for 3 to 5. It's not labeled that way, but and they seem quite different, but we'll figure this out at some point as well. We're not nearly done. We have a whole bag of bits here, storage solution bags. We're going to come back to this bag of bits. We're going to come back to these cards in a bit. We have a score sheet. So there's a scoring element, and it is, it's got these muted colors, but the score sheet is in color, which you can tell. I mean, you should be able to tell quite clearly, but you see all the colors here. The score sheets are single-sided rather than double-sided, but it looks like you get, 20 of them, 30 of them, and you know where the photocopier is, or take a picture and scan it, and maybe it's a PDF on the publisher's website, but this will be fine. I'm glad that it's in color, because black and white scoring sheets are a bummer. Okay, so here we actually have the player aids, and so you have 5 of them for 3 to 5 players. And what's fun is that you have only 5, they're all printed on the other side for 2 players. So I guess they're like, well, may as well print them on all these sides, even though you only ever need 2 of these, right? Unless you have somebody looking on, but I will show you both sides of the player aid. Again, you won't need both sides for any given game, because this is for 3 to 5 and this is for 2 players, but just to take a look at each side and do you look. They are slightly different. You'll notice here that you've got govern, sponsor, trade, annex, wage war, and scheme. And on the 2-player version, it's a little bit different. Different order and things like this. But you do have scheme here, even though you don't have that scheming card on the actual player board. So we're just going to have to read the rules and figure out what's going on there. Now we are hit with looks like the actual game board, but just make sure there's nothing under here, which there is not. I'll put that to the side, and we're going to move some of this and actually bust out the game board, which is actually quite small. You can see right there, this is the entire game board, and you can just kind of get a feel for it based on my hands here. So yeah, we've got lots of different kind of just positions with different, mostly numbers, some different icons here, alliances. We've got this turn order right over here. And then you've got this other side of the board. We'll have to figure out at some point if these are the same or identical, different or identical board sides. Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that, you have these huge player boards for cards, and so it looks like there's a lot going on in this game, but the world that you're fighting over is very small relative to the whole world, right? You're fighting over Italy, and they have a smaller board because of that. So it'll be interesting to see where players' attention get focused, whether it's on this map or straight down at their player board. But this is quite pretty. I do like this board. I tend to like larger game boards, so we'll see how this goes.
I actually think I did a pretty good job here in terms of likeness of Mr. Machiavelli, minus my little scruff here. And I'm on chapter 17 of the book, which is of cruelty and clemency, and whether it is better to be loved or feared. Machiavelli gets a really bad rap. He was an Italian statesman, and he's best known for the prince, but he actually wrote a lot of other political treatises, as well as histories, as well as actually dramas for the theater. But this is what we know him for. And historians have actually, done a lot of research and have debated, well, was Machiavellian as being Machiavellian really this, manipulative, evil way of being, or was Machiavelli trying to point out and make public to the people, the commoners, what was going on behind the political curtain of the nobility? Who's to say? Kind of the big central point of The Prince, as it's been come to know today, is really that the ends do in fact justify the means. Which is actually kind of what we do in a lot of board gaming, within the game, especially in direct conflict games, which are not everybody's cup of tea. But if you're playing Twilight Imperium or playing Virtu, that's exactly what you're doing. Anyway, this has been a lot of a very shallow dive on Machiavelli and what it is to be Machiavellian, and there are plenty of books on that. Let's get back to the unboxing.
So now, as I always do, or almost always do, we're going to do the decks of cards last. So let's look at some components. Silica gel, do not eat. Where to begin? So, right off the top, right off the bat, looks like we have 5 players, and very clearly we have 5 bags of player tokens in yellow, blue, green, red, and white. So these are just painted wooden tokens, green ones, and then we have this yellow single-sided screen-printed heraldic shield here. Now what's interesting to me, you'll notice you have these 5 colors, and then you have the blue one in the yellow bag, and the green one in the blue bag, and the white one in the red bag. You get the idea. And I can only assume that the yellow goes with the yellow, and the green with the green, and so on and so forth. But they're not... I don't know that. I can only bet a lot on that's what it's supposed to be. And I assume they only put them in off-color bags to point out when you're unboxing it that, hey, there is a token that's different. And again, this is pure speculation, but if that is what they did, that's very clever, actually. I have to give them points for that in terms of packing. So we don't need to pull everything out of the bags here, but I do want to show you these heraldic symbols on these different pieces here. So you've always seen the yellow one, and again, you get these tokens here, and you get the snake and this kind of green angel with a book here, so that's cool. But they're wooden tokens, and they seem to be nice ones. So then here we have, there seem to be 5. Almost looks like these are spaceships from some sort of asteroids or Space Invader game, but they're clearly not that. They're clearly cathedrals or churches, some type. I assume they're cathedrals. There you go. They're fine. Actually kind of cool. And then here, in all 5 of the player colors, we have a bunch of masks. Again, I assume these are masks. It looks like you get 5 per player color, so there should be 25 here. I do want to point out that these masks, I almost dropped one in the coffee, thank goodness I didn't do that. But these masks do not have painted eyes. They are actually cut out. You can see the palm of my hand through there. All of the masks are that way, which is a really nice touch, actually, that they did that. And here, in all 5 player colors, we have these little people with like axes or pikes. That's really nice that they did these this way rather than having just basic meeples, I think. They're a little bit smaller than basic meeples, but those are kind of cool. Oh, there's my cat scampering. Okay. So now we have these 2 decks of cards. So let's open these up right quick. Alright. And it looks like you've got this same kind of thing where on one side the cards are kind of have this kind of gold or bronze, or looks like gold expired side maybe, and then you've got a colored side on the other color on the other side. So these cards are clearly, well, I spoke too soon. These are a little bit different, and these are a little bit different. But clearly many of these cards are meant to be flipped. You're going to be doing a lot of card flipping in this game of one sort or another quite clearly. So let's actually put these to the side. Let's look at these single-sided cards. And we've got, again, a lot of iconography we're not going to understand. I like this Angel of Scales, Indulgence. Oh, okay, more Indulgence. More Indulgence. Okay, looks like these are all Indulgence. So you get Indulgence for something. And this is Christopher Columbus. And okay, he was not great. And didn't even plan this, but I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually unboxing this on Indigenous Peoples Day, and we're hit with Christopher Columbus, so we're just gonna throw him down there. Yucky. Da Vinci, and yeah, just some got Michelangelo or Michelangelo. Just some different people and places and items from different parts of the Renaissance and pre-Renaissance. We'll just throw those all on top of Columbus there. What a jerk. Okay, to put it mildly, I just can't say what he really is on the internet in this forum. Moving on. He's dead now, so that helps. I'm just gonna flip through some of these. Lots of iconography. Again, I've said that multiple times. I can't really comment on it right now. Again, I do like this artwork. It's definitely more compelling, to me at least, on these cards in this level of color than on the front of the box. And they do seem like standard size cards for sleeving. Just gonna go through some of these really quick, just give you a basic idea. Clearly here you've got banker, 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 get a whole bunch of bankers, get a whole bunch of cardinals, ambassadors, condoed, again, I don't know how to pronounce that, unfortunately. Condotrary, I could be completely screwing that up, I apologize. Yeah, so you do have a lot of repeats of maybe these are just like basic cards. Oh, look, I almost got out of the frame there. And then there are, oh, there's the Pope. Hi, Pope. These other cards. And again, on the other side, you have this kind of expired side in one way or another. And that is everything that comes in the game of Virtu. And done. Actually, they have the end at the end of this particular printing of the prints, which is quite nice, quite charming. I actually really do recommend this book. Hopefully many people have already read it. I've read it a few times now. But if you do read it, take care of yourself, because it's definitely a book that's going to make you want to eat chocolate cake in the shower. So bear that in mind. But again, let's put this aside and talk about the unboxing of Virtu. Again, this is just the unboxing. I have not yet played it. I'm really excited to play it. When I saw this on the shelf, I thought I must have this.
and share it with all of you. I love the back of the box here, and I talked about it in the actual unboxing part a little bit of the video. I love how the actual central map of the game is actually quite small relative to the other board game components. It will be interesting to see how that changes or focuses or doesn't focus players' attention. Will the focus of the game be on everybody looking at the central board, straight down the central board? Will people be looking at their player mats with the rondels rather than the central board? I'm really interested to see where eyes go and attention is focused in this game in particular. So that's it for Corax and Coffee and me today. Hope you did enjoy this little deep dive, large shallow dive. I don't know. The unboxing of Virtu, as well as my little Machiavellian whatever. Please do like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. We'd love to hang out with you online, talk about board games, and we'd love to see you at the table soon. Until next time, remember that the ends don't always justify the means in life, because morals, ethics, friendships, I don't know. See you guys next time. Take care.